Government announces new immigration rules for children. Leslie Miller apologizes for calling Carnival garbage. A suspect in Sunday's nightclub shooting charged today, plus a 42-year-old man trains to run 43 miles. We've got those stories and a whole lot more tonight. I'm Connie Toot and NB12 starts now. Topping news tonight, government will spend $10 million to begin the remediation process following an oil spill at Clifton. Though an investigation launched to determine the cause of that spill is not yet complete, Prime Minister Perry Christie says the government needs to act now. Kyle Joaquin reports.
The oil leak out at Clifton Pier has caught the attention of the Prime Minister, who announced that the government is going to spend $10 million to bring in a foreign company of engineers to remediate the oil problem out at Clifton. The oil in the area has been causing a problem for wildlife as well as tourists. Just last November, an American couple told NB12 of their snorkeling experience at the Clifton Heritage Park, where they came up covered in oil. Christie said to hear such news was disturbing.
A young lady showed me just after the holidays pictures of people coming out of the waters with oil on their bodies. I advise my colleagues that the implication is a profound one when it comes down to damages. Not just to think about the environment and the rights for people to swim in waters that are conducive to good health.
Christie was speaking to officials at the Atlantis Blue Project, the Bahamas National Trust, the Perry Institute for Marine Science, and the Nature Conservancy team. The organizations are partnering to find a way for the decline of coral reefs to be reversed. Environment Minister Kendra Dorset told NB12 the government had initially set aside more money and was still unsure what the entire remediation process will cost. However, with more and more oil flowing into the sea, officials felt they had to act now.
This was always something that we were going to do, as I've indicated before, as a part of the BEC energy reform process and the rate reduction bond that is being contemplated. $20 million out of that was always contemplated to be used for environmental remediation associated with BEC plants. But we're expediting the work and not waiting on the completion of the BEC energy reform process.
Dorset says local companies are also a part of the project. But here's how the work will be done.
There is containment at the marine environment. There is extraction of oil from the ground, which essentially will end up being recycled, and we will determine the use once it is extracted and recycled. And then there is medium-term to long-term sustained control of any oil going into the marine environment.
Now, although the investigation into the source of that oil leak is still not done, Dorset says they're certain that one of those sources is BEC. For months now, the investigation into what caused the leak has been underway. And Dorset says although they're certain that some of the oil is from BEC, there are others in the mix.
The reality is we know that BEC is certainly responsible for some of the product or most of the product that we find, but it's not the only culprit. And so we are not going to find ourselves getting caught up in a finger pointing exercise while the environment continues to be impacted.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Outspoken Tall Pines MP Leslie Miller has apologized for calling Carnival garbage, insisting he spoke out of ignorance. The BEC chairman told NB12 today that after members of the Carnival Commission explained to him the Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival concept, his initial comments started to bother him, and he called Prime Minister Christie this morning to sincerely apologize. Christie said yesterday Miller should have come to him with his concerns and pointed out that Miller's daughters are heavily involved in Junkanoo Carnival. On Wednesday, Miller told the Nassau Guardian he has grave reservations about whether Junkanoo Carnival is in the best interest of the Bahamas and said the country should not import garbage. However, he told us today he didn't even realize his daughters were involved in the festival, and they also helped to make a believer out of him. Miller says he has been assured that Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival will not have the same format as Trinidad's Carnival and that organizers plan to involve local artists. The Tall Pine MP says the Prime Minister also assured him today that Junkanoo Carnival will be something all Bahamians can be proud of, adding it is important to all of us that this event is successful. Miller says he has no problem admitting when he is wrong, adding you have to be big enough to apologize. He says he plans to go out and have a good time with everyone else. From the courts, a 25-year-old Nassau Village man was arraigned in the magistrate's court today in connection with Sunday's murder of a young Royal Bahamas Defense Force Marine at a Faith Avenue nightclub. As Simone Davis tells us, a 47-year-old woman was also charged today in connection with last year's murder of Andrea Carroll.
25-year-old Emmanuel Roll was charged with the murder of Defense Force Marine Angelo Dorset. He was also charged with the attempted murder of Tamiko Colby and Victron Burrows and one count of causing public terror. The Nassau Village resident is accused of intentionally and unlawfully discharging a firearm at the G-Spot Ultra Lounge on Sunday. Roll, who was represented by attorney Ty Pinder, was not required to enter a plea. Surveillance footage released by police showed a gunman opening a fire in a crowded nightclub. Also appearing before Chief Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt was 47-year-old Daphne Knowles, who was charged with the murder of 53-year-old Andrea Carroll on Long Island back in November 2014. She was also charged with robbing Carroll of $68,000 cash, which was the property of Bose Web Games. Knowles was further charged with conspiracy to commit robbery between October 1st and November 28, 2014. Carroll was found in her Deadman's Key home bound at the hands and feet. Police said she had been struck with a blunt instrument. Knowles then asked the magistrate to identify the persons she conspired to commit robbery with and where is the money she allegedly robbed Carroll of. Ferguson Pratt said her job was to read the charges, not to investigate the crime. Roll and Knowles were remanded to Her Majesty's prison in order to return to court on March 31st for the presentation of the voluntary bill of indictment. Reporting for NB12, I'm Simone Davis.
Most people celebrate birthdays with a party or cake, but not Kevin Taylor. He plans to celebrate his 43rd birthday by running 43 miles, starting at midnight during the February 8th Ride for Hope.
It's not easy, it's kind of painful, but at the end you're grateful you did it.
For 6 months, 42-year-old Kevin Taylor has been training to prepare for his 43-mile run right before his 43rd birthday. As an audiobook plays on his iPod, the business owner jogs 3 hours a day at least twice a week. Today, I decided to join him.
So what do you like? What do you do?
Yeah, well, you can grab your
Okay.
foot and just kind of pull it up behind you.
How long?
Hold it for like 6 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it sad that I'm already in pain?
Not only did he force me to stretch,
This is the most working out I have done in years.
Well, you look good. You look like you're ready to go.
Good, good.
Taylor also dragged me along with him on a jog along Paradise Island. It all began on Taylor's 41st birthday when he challenged himself to run through the night until he completed 41 miles. He upped the ante last year when he turned 42 by running 42 miles and raising funds for Sister Breast Cancer Group. As he celebrates the Big 4-3, Taylor plans to run on February 8th during Ride for Hope, a charity bike ride that raises money to fight cancer.
And they've graciously allowed me to run on the course during the Ride for Hope, and I'm able to use their portal for people to donate online.
Ride for Hope starts at Goodman's Bay at 7 a.m. However, Taylor plans to start at midnight to complete his grueling 43-mile run before Ride for Hope's closing ceremony at 10 a.m.
And I really just kind of wanted to challenge myself, because I think if you don't kind of push yourself beyond your limits, you're not really growing, and I'm all about growth and discovering new things about myself.
Taylor has already surpassed Ride for Hope's $250 donation. However, he hopes to raise $4,300, $100 for each year of his life. Here's how you can get involved.
You can go to rideforhopebahamas.com and click on donate, and then find my name under sponsor a rider. and type in Kevin Taylor, and it'll lead you right through it, and you'll be able to donate to this worthy cause.
When NB12 returns, the AG is concerned about wasted judicial time. The details are after this break.